feels a little bit wrong taking a Duesenberg apart, but it's not going to stop me. I feel like I'm defusing a bomb. Did I really just drop a screw inside? Compared to this, the Gibson aren't even trying, to be honest with you. You might not like all this fancy stuff. I do wonder if it's a little bit like maybe wearing a Rolex watch. I think it's cool. I don't know. It's kind of, is it or isn't it? I don't know. It's like, I don't know. Is it cool? Hello everyone. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you. So I appear to have acquired a Duesenberg. Here it is. It's a Duesenberg Starplayer TV in transparent orange. It's quite a guitar, so I thought I'd better show it to you. I've had this a couple of months now, and I'll be honest, I was a bit hesitant to review it on the channel, lest it destroyed whatever credibility I might have as a purveyor of affordable guitars. But I thought it was about time to show you. I didn't buy it. I acquired it by way of trades. This is another trade acquisition of mine, which I'm quite pleased with. I'll tell you about that later on. I'll tell you what I traded for it and why and stuff later on in the film, once we've had a good look at it. We're going to do a deep dive look at this today. We're going to take it apart. We're going to take a Duesenberg apart and have a look at what's under here and do what we normally do, you know. We're not going to treat it any differently just because it's a precision-made instrument. Yeah, so it should be fun. Don't forget, the timestamps are in the description box. This will be quite a long review. We'll do everything and we'll have a really good old play, hopefully. You know, if I can get my act together, it'll be good. At the very least, it'll be fairly average and we'll hear what the guitar sounds like. So, yeah, we're going to do all that. If you haven't got time for all me yakking and stuff, timestamps are in the description box. Skip forward to the bits that interest you. If you've got a bit of time on your hands, probably about 40 minutes or so, grab a drink, let's get stuck in. First off, brief history, very brief history of Duesenberg. It's a relatively new company, really. It was launched in 1986, I believe. And the Starplayer here, 1995, the Starplayer TV. So it's a fairly recent model. I've never known really much about them, apart from the fact that they're meant to be the Holy Grail. I suppose you could say that. People consider them to be a bit of a Holy Grail guitar. And they seem to have found their way into the hands of some real world-class players, by word of mouth largely, as far as I can tell. The likes of, obviously, Mike Campbell, Joe Walsh, Tom Bukovac, of course, and Johnny Depp plays one. He's a great guitarist, Johnny Depp. I don't care what anyone says, and he's one of the coolest cats that's ever lived, so he plays one. Got to be good, isn't it? Okay, so all about the guitar. It's a semi-hollow, so it's got a centre block going down the middle. We'll have a closer look under these pickups in a bit, and we'll see how substantial that is. But it's got a laminated spruce top and sides, and it's got, as I say, it's this transparent orange, so it's got a really nice finish on the top. Looks great, that. Now the back of this is another thing entirely. This is flamed maple, okay, on the back. So I hope you can see that. This guitar has actually got a flamed maple back. And it's incredible, really. It's got a kind of a sunburst, a burst, that's what they call it, isn't it? A teardrop style paint, which I don't know if it is black or a very dark blue, because The flamed maple shows through as blue there. And I'll try and do some close-ups of that so you can see that. It's quite a thing. It's very, very attractive. Yeah. So it's got a flamed back, which is just one of many quite unique features we're going to discover on this guitar. It's got a one-piece maple neck, okay? It's quite slim, the neck on this. We'll measure that in a bit so you can see what I mean. Indian rosewood fingerboard, jumbo frets, cream binding all the way around, as you can see, front and back. I'm going to take the strings off now so we can have a closer look at all of that and the fit and finish. Okay. Before I do that, we'll weigh it. Okay, it's a fairly light guitar. Let's see what it weighs. So £8, 2 ounces, 3.70 kilograms. So it's not that light, is it? But it's not heavy. Yeah. There you go. So I just pulled that out so you can see these tuners are a fairly original design. So I'll do some close-ups of that. So they're like the Fender locking ones in that they've got the slot. You push the string down into the slot and it locks itself nice and tightly. But these ones have got I'll tip it, a hole. You can see there's a hole in the back. So you can actually push the string right through that and it gives it that extra tidiness, okay? They're quite a thing. That's another unique feature amongst many that we're going to discover. Okay, let's get these off. There's so much detail on this guitar, I don't know where to start. We'll start with the basic stuff, like, as I said, Indian rosewood fingerboard, which, as you can see, is lovely. A nice chunky jumbo fret. I suppose it goes without saying that the fretwork, you have to take that spring off. The fretwork is brilliant. Here's some close-ups so you can see. It's all plecked, this, from the factory. Apparently, the nut, do you know what? I couldn't find out what that was made out of. If I do before or while I'm editing, I'll just put it down there. But again, it goes without saying that it's well cut. It's a precision instrument. It must be for these guys to use it, eh? And you can tell, can't you? I mean, look at it. It's there's a lot of adjustment in this arm. There you go. You've got adjustment that way and that way. So you can find your sweet spot, fix it in it. I'm not a big whammy bar user, so I haven't really got a sweet spot. Yeah, I might develop one over time. So I'm just going to tighten that back up again. But that's an incredible little thing. It's a great little design. And I'm just going to remove that spring for now. Okay. So, yeah, that's aluminium. Bridge is nickel plated. There you go. It's stamped Duesenberg, Germany on the back. I did read that some of these parts are made by Goth. I don't even know how to pronounce that, but you know what I'm talking about. This weighs 48 grams. And so it's got these thumb wheel adjusters, which are very much like the vintage Gibson style ones. Although, of course, as you can see, it's got this, what they call the 3-step design, which is throughout this guitar. It's a thing of beauty. As I say, these are quite like the vintage Gibson style ones, although you can see they've got little bushings that go into the body. Okay. Fit and finish, I mean, QC on this guitar puts certain other manufacturers, shall we say, to shame. It absolutely does. And actually, considering that the cost of this guitar is the same as a, let's say, for instance, a Les Paul Standard now. This comes in at 2299 English pounds, which is pretty much the same as a Les Paul Standard, isn't it? There you go. So let's have a look at the neck measurements and profile. Okay, here's the neck profile and measurements at the 1st fret. And here's the neck profile and measurements at the 12th fret. They call it a D profile. It's quite rounded up at the 12th, isn't it? Just notice the output jack plate has also got this 3-step design. Let's plug this in and see what take some pickup readings. Okay, pickups in the neck, it's a P90. It's called a Domino P90. And the bridge is a humbucker, which they call the Grand Vintage Humbucker. And these are the readings. Okay, so in the neck, the P90 is 5.58 kilo ohms. And that is 3.38, 3.39 Henrys. Okay, and on the bridge, the humbucker there reads 8.22 kilo ohms, or 4.40 Henrys. Now, apparently there's some special wiring in here that cuts low frequencies. So what we'll do now is we'll have a look. We'll take it's all under this scratch plate by the looks of things, so should be fairly straightforward. We'll have a look and we'll look under the pickups as well. Let's do that. Feels a little bit wrong taking a Duesenberg apart, but it's not going to stop me. I'm going to take this bit off first. I have no idea. Ooh, it's a bit of... It's just literally a decorative strip, that. Very cool. Oh no, it's not. It does hold holds the top of the pick guard or scratch plate. Somebody's what did I call it the other day? I called it a pick guard, and someone said no, it's called a scratch plate, or vice versa. I can't remember. It's the same thing, isn't it? Well, it is in England. Oh, ta-da! Neatly cable tied, just to make it awkward for me. I'm going to have to clip the cable tie. Okay. I don't know if you can see that. I feel like I'm defusing a bomb. I've got to try and cut this without explode. No, not exploding, but without damaging any other wires. Oh, do you know what? It doesn't. Oh, it does help because it will flip that way now. Okay. Okay, it does. Right. Okay, there you go. Have a look. This is what the wiring looks like. It's there aren't many distinguishing marks on the pots. That just says 25, so maybe 250k. The other one's completely covered up. It says made in something N, so possibly made in Japan. Apart from that, there's no other markings. And as you can see, there's capacitors and markings, and you can see what they say. There's a nice close-up for you. Okay. So then let's just flip that over and pull the pickups out. There you go. As you can see inside the cavities there, it's a solid block. It's a solid old block. You can see the laminated top. Looks like, well, it's kind of like 2-ply, doesn't it? Maybe not. Anyway, you might know. Pickups just say Duesenberg, Germany on the backs, and they've got this weird kind of adjuster type thing. I don't know what that is. I suppose it's adjuster, I suppose, to adjust the angle. Yeah. Fascinating. Well, for me. Right, yeah, I'm going to screw that back together now. And then, all right, before I do that, let's look under the truss rod cover while we've got the screwdriver handy. It's a solid piece of metal, nickel plated. Look at that. And it's got the name of the guy that started Duesenberg. On the back of that, by Dieter Goldsdorf. I was gonna tell you that earlier, but I was afraid I wouldn't be able to pronounce it properly. In fact, I probably haven't pronounced it properly. And the truss rod is, there you go. It's an Allen wrench style one, and it's a dual action truss rod, according to the specs. Nice and neat and tidy. There you go. Very cool. I'm going to screw all these bits back on now and put some strings on, and we'll play it, see what it sounds like. Did I really just do that? Did I really just drop a screw inside? Right. I want to show you how easy it is to restring this thing. So, whoops, you spring. You can see the holes in the whammy bar thing. Hope that didn't need to go up a certain way. Here we go. So literally just feed it through the hole, pull it over, under that, I think. Pretty sure that goes under. So then this end you've got the slot like the Fender ones, but you've also got a hole on the other side as well. So if you want to do it the traditional way, you can just go through, or you can poke it down the hole, find a, I think I'll just cut those off afterwards so it goes right the way through. Might cut them off now. Voila. Right, here we are then. New strings on, all tuned up. Seems to be fairly stable tuning wise. I think these things are renowned for that, aren't they? Doesn't seem to have been any problems really so far. This is what it sounds like unplugged, obviously. Here you go. Obviously it's semi-acoustic, isn't it? Centre block, so quite a nice little thing for playing in your bedroom unplugged without annoying people next door. So, okay, so let's plug it in. Today I'm using a Fender Hot Rod Deluxe 3 with a creamback speaker in it, and I've got the JHS little black box in the effects loop. That's basically just a volume control. So you can crank it, which I have. I think it's on about 9.5. Here's a shot of the settings that I've got this on. You can crank it right up and drive. I think you're driving the preamp, aren't you? Getting all the breakup that you want from the tubes. And you just turn it down on this little volume control. You can use a volume pedal as well, or you can buy this from JHS and give them your money, because they probably need it. But anyway, so I gave them my money and I got this, and it's a great little device. You can just plug it into any amp that's got an effects loop, and it's got quite a wide range, so it's right low at the moment, but as you can see, the amp's cranked. And it sounds like this with the pickups wide open. It sounds like this. There's no gain on the board at the moment. We'll get to that in a second. Amp alone sounds like this. So that's the bridge pickup. You can clean it up. Kind of like that, and that's the sound in my head. That's chewiness, isn't it? Chewiness that Paul Stafford Cook calls that. But it's tactile enough to not be balls out all the time. So that's the bridge pickup, and the neck. On about half. And then in the middle, we've got this. Out of phase, as you can hear, and it is meant to be like that. I think you'll either love that or hate that. I'm on the fence. I hate it because it sounds a bit like a Stratocaster, and I don't really like the sound that I get out of Stratocasters, which is something like this. But I haven't really explored its capabilities enough to criticise it too much. I mean, I definitely get the sense that I'm not worthy of this guitar anyway. I'm not a good enough player to really do it justice. That's what I think, honestly. So that might be, it might be nice with, I don't know. I've just kicked in the Klon KTR. For instance, that might, I don't know, there's all sorts of... I mean, the obvious one to do with that is the funk. It sounds a bit rubbish like that. It's better like this, really, just with the humbucker. I don't know is the answer, but anyway, the middle position's out of phase. The bridge sounds like this. The neck sounds like this. And the middle sounds like this. Back to the neck. The volume seems to work well. Right through the range, that's great. Tone, let's have a listen. Put a bit of drive on that just to wake it up. There's a decent usable range there, isn't there? As I think we would expect. So there, yeah, all works. Let's play something and try and go through various settings and see what it sounds like in a loop. Here we go. Very often a case warrants its own section, but this one does. It's like the guitar, a work of art. It's quite distinctive. I do lots of shots of it, so you can see. It's that, and then you open it up, The guitars are a really nice fit, a really tight fit. Let's get that out. Really nice lining. It's got a big cushion there, so when you close it, there's a gap, so you can leave the whammy bar in place. You don't have to move that. You don't have to worry about that squashing down. Really nice plush padding. Lots of case candy. Let's have a look at that. So this is the case candy. So there's a Duesenberg cloth. There's a owner's manual, which goes through all the warranty and tells you all about it. And oh, there's a pick in there as well. Duesenberg pick. You can see that. Nice little thing. There's what we got. Just tells you about the strings. It's got Duesenberg strings on it. You've got a D tool. There you go. You get a free D tool, which it's got a bottle opener on it, and some wrenches, and a bottle opener, wrench, rulers, setup guide, screwdriver, and you can stick it on your key ring. Allen keys, several Allen keys. I don't even know what most of those are for. There'd be a truss rod and yeah. Anyway, those little quality label. That's probably the keys. Yeah, there's the keys. And the piece de resistance, who are, here you go. What's in here? Oh, what we got? Stickers. We like stickers. We got stickers. Some blurb. There's a video manual apparently. That tells you about the video manual on YouTube. And this here is great. It's actually a plaster. It's a Duesenberg plaster. And it says on this, just in case you play until your fingers bleed. There you go. How cool's that? There you go, yeah, brilliant attention to detail. Some stuff, you know, we all like a bit of stuff, don't we? Love it. Let's put all that back. I keep all this intact. In case I don't, well, I mean, eventually it'll go to another owner, won't it? Probably keep it a while. We'll see. Cool. So that's the Duesenberg Starplayer TV. And what a thing it is. It's definitely a thing. I'm going to obviously now try and sum up what I feel about this guitar, what I think about this guitar. I think this is the definition of a precision instrument, okay? In the way that it's made, obviously, it's typical German engineering, but as you can see, as you've seen, hopefully, the design of it is just, I don't know, some people might find it a little bit garish. That's a word I'll use. I mean, it's got a lot going. It's very fancy, you know, it's very fancy, isn't it? all this what they call the 3-step, you know, this detail that's throughout the guitar. So, you know, it's got a little 3-step wobbly knob. It's got a 3-step on the switch knob, and look, solid. Look. Have you ever closed an old Mercedes car door? It's got that beautiful sound that, oh, listen to that again. That is definitely a Mercedes door closing. Although that would probably be a bit more, have a bit more timber to it. Oh, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, and it's got the little 3-step on the knobs. Beautifully made, beautifully engineered, heavy duty, really nice tactile knobs. It's got the little 3-step on there. And this, obviously, this part of the tremolo, you know, that design, it replicates the knob, doesn't it? Looks like you've got an extra knob on there. And obviously the adjustability, the tuning stability does seem to be there. I didn't use the whammy bar much because I don't, but you know, it's got the little 3-step on the bridge thumb wheels, the logo, the tuning keys. You know, I think I've made my point. Yeah, it's definitely a well-made guitar, well thought out, well made. And I mean, compared to this, Gibson, who, I mean, I've heard it said that they're the kind of the Stradivarius of electric guitars. You know, they're the precision instrument. Compared to this, Gibson aren't even trying, to be honest with you. This doesn't have any flaws. Apart from, the only flaw with this guitar is that you might not like it. You might not like the look of it. You might not like all this fancy stuff. I do wonder if it's a little bit like maybe wearing a Rolex watch. If I use that as an analogy, it's not necessarily going to suit everybody. I mean, I don't wear jewellery. I'm not repelled by this at all. I find it interesting. Yeah, I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence about a few things with this guitar. The middle position, the outer phase. And I'm on the fence as to whether or not I really like it, or I'm kind of not sure. I mean, I really like it because, well, how could you not? But as I think I said earlier, you know, it's almost like I won't say I'm not good enough for this guitar, but I'm not convinced it's for me. I'm not convinced I can do it justice. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not convinced that I can do this guitar proper justice. You know, in my playing is probably too heavy-handed to make the most of the subtleties of this guitar. It's got a brilliant vibrato wobbly bar. I haven't got a clue how to use that properly. And yeah, I haven't got the finesse that this, to bring out the best in this guitar. That's how I feel. I don't love the neck. It's got a thin neck now. So that actually reminds me, I'll tell you how I got it. So I had my eye on this for about a year, okay? It was hanging in a local music shop. I traded some guitars. I traded some guitars that I was very keen on, actually. I didn't really want to let go, but I didn't play them. And I'd sort of been trying to sell them, but without making any real effort. This had been hanging on the wall of a local music shop for a year almost. Started off with a ticket price of £2,000 sterling, and it had gradually come down a little bit to around about 1,700. I'd looked at it, I picked it up early on and thought, yeah, I'm not really sure about that neck. Put it back, kept looking at it, thinking, should I, shouldn't I? There's no way I was going to spend that kind of money on it. But eventually I spoke to the, guy James that owns the store there and said, should we try and put a deal together, some trades? He was interested. So, yeah, the guitars that I threw in that I didn't really want to let go, but they were the Epiphone SG Custom, the ebony one, the Epiphone Les Paul 60s, ebony, and the Yamaha Revstar, the ebony one. All great little guitars, but, surplus to what I could realistically use here. And I thought, well, that'll be a fairly good little trade, because this is a great guitar, obviously. So I'm not going to regret that, am I? And I don't regret it. But I've got, this is, I don't really know what I feel still about this guitar. It's not, it isn't, I don't know, it's not tugging my heartstrings at all. It's a fine, fine guitar. Probably the pinnacle of guitar ownership for proper players. I don't consider myself a proper player like that. I'll bash out some nonsense, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not so good. I've not got the finesse to get the best out of this. I don't really even know how to use a whammy bar. So what do I need with such a precision instrument? I think it's cool. I do think it's cool. I think it's cool. I think it's really cool. I think it's cool. I don't know. It's kind of, is it or isn't it? I don't know. It's like, I don't know. Is it cool? I mean, obviously it's cool when Mike Campbell plays it. Obviously it's cool when Tom Bukovac plays it. Me? I don't know. Don't know. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Should I keep it? Or should I trade it on for something else? I mean, there's some expensive guitars that I really do fancy. I'd swap it for a non-reverse Firebird tomorrow. If anyone's got a non-reverse Firebird they want to trade for some stuff, please let me know. Firebird 1, incidentally. I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, it's a great guitar. I'm not mad about the neck, but it sounds good. It does sound good. Although I struggled a bit this week in playing. I did struggle this week in playing because I often look, well, I always look to the guitar to give me the inspiration. Who plays it and what do they play? And that gives me suggestions on what maybe I can do loop-wise, well, I'm just looking for a couple of chords and stuff. But I didn't really find anything with this. I kept looking, at Joe Walsh stuff, and I was looking at Tom Petty stuff, for Mike Campbell, and there's nothing leapt out that got me going, really, got me going. So I struggled. I played quite a lot of stuff, and well, I haven't edited yet, so I have no idea what you're going to be hearing yet this week. But if it's rubbish, that's why. It was the guitar's fault. Okay, didn't fire me up, couldn't do it. Well, look, I mean, it's not the guitar's fault, obviously. It's just a thing, isn't it? It's a thing. That's my assessment of this guitar. I think that's really all I can say. It's a thing. I'm not even sure what sort of thing it is, so I might leave it at that and let you tell me. What do you think? What is it? What's going on? I think this one's going to go. I don't think I'll play it that much. I'm a bit scared of it, to be honest with you. I don't do it justice. Let's see if we can send it to a better home. I think Paul Stafford Cook. Paul, you deserve this, mate. You make it sound wonderful, and we'd love to hear you play it. So, yeah, if you fancy it, let us know. All right, okay. On that note, everybody, I will say goodbye now. I will stop talking, and I'll say thank you very much for joining me again. Come back next week and see what we're up to then. All right. Cheers for now. Ta-da.